Hi guys. Hello. So,
Hey,
hi Candice.
hey, we're matching.
Yeah, hey girl, hey.
Hey.
All right. Okay, so hi everybody. I am here with a new friend actually. We connected
Yes.
here on Instagram. I've met some of the best people online. Although the internet is a weird, dark place, it's also a place for connecting and networking. Wait, are you frozen? Can you see me, Candice?
I'm here. I
Okay,
hear
you were
you.
frozen for a
Your
second.
screen is a
Okay,
little
you hear
your
me.
screen is a little frozen, but I hear you.
Okay, my screen was frozen.
Yes,
Okay,
your
am I
screen is
still
frozen
frozen?
on my end, but I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, on your end. Okay. All right. All right. So I can see you now. All right. So
Okay.
we met here on Instagram and we bonded because we're both into our feminine journeys, living a free, creative life, living life on our terms. And we're both expats. And
Yes.
and we also are doing something else on the side that's nobody else's business. But so it's so it's been nice connecting with her, and we wanted to come and basically talk to you about our new project, our new webinars that we're going to be releasing um, most likely tomorrow. I still have a few loose ends to tie up, but tomorrow you'll be able to purchase our first webinar. So we're doing a series of webinars together. So I'm going to go ahead and let Candice introduce herself and just tell us about yourself, who you are, and what an expat is. I'll let you take that in.
Okay. Hey everybody. Thank you so much for having me on this live. My name is Candice Adewale, and I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio, but I've lived in Florida long enough to be an honorary Floridian. I'm a two-time author, so I wrote two books. One book is called The Black Girl's Guide to Being Blissfully Feminine, and the other book is called A Girl's Guide to Being a Lady in Waiting. I'm also a mother and I am a global citizen. So a few years back, I actually started my journey traveling overseas. Well, actually, going back, I've actually been traveling since before it was really popular. So I actually lived in Puerto Rico. That was actually my first time living outside of the United States. But at that point in time, I didn't really know what an expat was. I was just following my ex-husband because he's Puerto Rican and he wanted to live in Puerto Rico. But my true journey on my own to becoming a global citizen started a few years ago when I decided to go to Paris, France. And that experience was just so eye-opening for me because it allowed to see myself in a different light. It allowed me to see myself apart from the narrative that I have been given about myself, in particular as a Black woman. And so I experienced a certain level of freedom and joy that I had never experienced before. And so I realized then and there that it was very important for my own well being to make sure to travel internationally. And so from that point, I ended up going to Ghana, West Africa. I went back to Europe and I stayed in Spain. I did a sabbatical in Spain for about a month and a half, and I went back to Paris. And then I happened to, when I came back from Paris, a few, like 6 weeks later, I decided to join a friend on a trip to Rome. I actually almost didn't want to go to Rome because I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm just tired of traveling and living out of a suitcase. But I decided to go to Rome, Italy. And as soon as we got to Italy, I'm like, we had not even been in Italy a full day. I had decided then and there I was moving. Rome just captured my heart, and I knew then and there like I had to do this thing. So on the return flight home, on the return flight home, I'd already contacted my previous Airbnb owner, and I said, "Listen, can we work out a deal for me to come back with my daughter because I have to do this thing?" And in a matter of, I think, like 8 weeks, I was back in Rome. I'd already put forth, everything in motion to get my visa for my daughter and I to stay. And then I just closed my salon. I packed up all my stuff. I got my 2 dogs and my kids, and my kid, and I hightailed it to Rome, Italy, where we lived for the past 2 years. And just so happened, I was made a trip earlier this year for Istanbul, Turkey, for business and pleasure. And so being here in Istanbul, I got stuck for the quarantine. So I feel like I can't speak right now, but I actually got stuck in Istanbul, Turkey during the quarantine, fell in love with Istanbul, and I decided to buy an apartment here in Istanbul, Turkey. So I am currently sitting in the apartment that my daughter and I own because I put her name on the title deed. So we're both homeowners officially here in Istanbul, Turkey. And as far as what an expat is, being an expat is basically a person who decides to leave their home country and they make the decision to call someplace else in the world home, whether that be for a month or 3 months, 6 months, or indefinitely.
Right. So, wow, I love that introduction, Candice. I know all that about you because we've been
Yes.
chatting and getting to know each other, and it's been an amazing experience meeting you. You truly are a wonderful woman, and I'm so happy that we're collaborating in business and also starting a new friendship, because friendship is so
Yes.
important, especially among women and especially among Black women,
Yes.
because it's important for us to bond with like-minded women. Let me say that, like-minded women, and
Yes.
that's not always easy. You know,
It's
it's not always easy to find women who love to travel the world, who love to live abroad, who want to invest abroad, who are very in tune with living a feminine, relaxed, enjoyable life.
yes.
It's not easy to find women like that. So when I found you, it was like love at first sight. I was like,
Oh,
because you know
I was
me,
like,
I'm
soul sister.
yeah, I'm pretty antisocial. So if I like somebody, I really like them. I go all in. I'm not a
So,
halfway anything. I don't do anything halfway. I'm an all in type of girl. So this particular live, we won't be here long because we are going to give you the opportunity to chat with us. We are going to give you useful information about how to move abroad on your own terms. But for me, this is my page. So most of you guys know me, but I am Kim. I am from the brands Naturally Fashionable. I started out as a fashion blogger. You guys know that. I moved into lifestyle. I also have Wifey for Lifey group. I have Earn with Kim. I have Make Values Great Again now. And I have been an online personality for, wow, a decade now. So I've done courses, consulting. I do a host of things online, and I have for the past decade. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Let's talk about where I am right now with my lovely friend Candice. So Candice, what we're briefly going to talk about tonight is how moving abroad changed our life and why they need to purchase our upcoming webinar. We're going to do a series of webinars. So just to let you guys know what the series of webinars will be, we're going to do a webinar on basically how to move abroad on your own terms. And I know a lot of people are wondering, well, how will I live if I'm not married, if I'm single, what if I have kids? We're going to touch on all of these things that may be holding you back from moving abroad. And that's why I brought Candice in, because Candice is a mom, and she is also single and mingling, unless you got a boyfriend before I had a chance to talk to you.
Not yet. Not yet. I have my students
yes,
like.
yes. So she has her suitors. So I thought it was impactful to bring her on because even though we are very similar, very, very similar in a lot of ways, we do have different lifestyles. I'm currently, locked up, tied down, throw away the key, old maid. Candice is free, young, dating, mingling, moving, shaking, doing all these things. And I'm like, oh, it's wonderful, because it's a wonderful time to be a single woman. Being a single woman is a wonderful experience, just as though it's wonderful to be a married woman. And so I wanted to bring us in because even though we're very similar, we lead different lifestyles at different points in time. And so I wanted all women to be able to connect with, how can I move abroad? How can I move abroad if I'm single? How can I move abroad if I'm a mom? How can I move abroad if I'm a wife? You know, how can I do this? And I wanted all women to know that this is a lifestyle for you, and this is an attainable lifestyle if you're willing to put the work in and invest yourself. So just to touch on the 3 webinars, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Candice for how moving abroad, how living an expat lifestyle has changed her life. We have the first webinar that's going to deal with moving abroad and choosing a country for you. The second webinar is going to deal with being financially prepared. I know a lot of people always tell you, you know, you can move abroad, you could teach English, but no, we're going to talk about some other ways you can make money online,
Yes.
either through your career path or through starting an online business with you, give you some options for that. And the third webinar we have, I'm not really sure what it will be, but it will be based on you guys' feedback and what Candice and I think is best. So we have a series of webinars that deal with making money online. And I think we might do one exclusively about making money online, because everyone should have an online stream of income if you move abroad. That's my opinion.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you have a traditional job or not, you know. In my case, my husband has the traditional job, but we still understand the importance of having online streams of income and multiple streams of income, because I feel that that's needed. And I feel like it's just needed anyway. Look at COVID, look at the state of the world. Everybody needs multiple streams of income, or at least one extra stream of income that does not relate to your direct job that you have. Everybody needs that. So Candice, talk about how moving abroad has changed your life. What did it do for you? Why do people need to know more about, because why would we leave a great country like America? Because we're not America haters, right? Like, we're not on the I hate America bandwagon. We don't hate America. We know America is a flawed country, like every other country in the world. We know that every country has their issues, but we are proud citizens, and we are not renouncing our citizenship, are we?
No, we're not. No, we're not.
No, we're not. So talk about why we live abroad. How has it changed your life? And I feel we've talked about this personally, so we're both like
Yes.
in total sync, but tell people why they need to consider moving abroad, what it can do for their life, and why they need to purchase this webinar.
Okay. Ciao ragazzi. I see some of my Italian people are popping on. So ciao ragazzi. So, so anyways, wow. I mean, I get goosebumps when I talk about this, because that's how excited I get. For me, I feel like you have to find your place, the place where you resonate most with, where your spirit resonates most with. And so for me, it wasn't so much about, oh, I hate America so bad, but it was just about the benefits and the type of lifestyle that I wanted to live. And I felt like I could live that better abroad. I think
Right.
one of the things that I love most about living abroad was the fact that I was able to live a consciously feminine lifestyle. Like, that's like the number one thing that I can that just comes to my mind, because I am a feminine woman. I do, I like to live in my femininity. And I think that the American lifestyle is very stressed out. So it's very work focused, it's very money focused. And I was very lonely, Kim. I was like so lonely. I was talking about this with a friend yesterday, because my life literally consisted of going to work, going to networking events, and then like coming home and spending time laying on my bed watching Netflix. I think my bed had like a permanent imprint of my body in it from watching Netflix, because that's what I did like most of the time. Like no dates, no anything. And like when I moved to Rome, all of a sudden my like love life took like a total 360 degrees turn, because all of a sudden I'm getting asked out by high quality suitors, men that probably in particular like that caliber of men probably would not be paying me much attention in the States. And all of a sudden, like I'm having lawyers, doctors, high level officials asking me out on dates and things like that. So it just put me in a position where I wasn't expected to be this hard masculine woman, but I was treated as
Mm-hmm.
woman first. So that's one of the
Right.
reasons. And also, I think safety issue, social issue, and then my daughter was also able to I was able to preserve her femininity in a particular way. And also, it was a very safe environment for her to be able to go out by herself as a young lady and just feel that freedom. And I wanted her to feel that.
Right. Yeah. Um, because in America, they want us to be marching on the streets. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes.
No, sir. No, ma'am. I will be
No,
marching
no.
in nowhere
I love
but to
that
the
word.
nail shop. I will be marching nowhere but to the spa, the nail
Yes.
shop, the mall,
For
to
my
my favorite
facials.
restaurant. Right. To pray, to my prayer corner, to prayer. That is the only
Yes.
place I will be marching to. America does make you hardcore, and I do. There was a time, and I think I told you this in my 20s, where when I had first gotten married, I just graduated from college. I was always a very ambitious person. I always wanted more for my life, but I was becoming like masculine, like, and it affects your marriage. You're talking
Right.
about it from a sense of dating, but it affects
Right.
you even in marriage when you masculinize, make yourself more masculine, and you
Absolutely.
masculinize yourself. And
Absolutely.
so I was on edge. I was edgy. I can't. It's hard. We're gonna have to do this in the webinar. It's hard to put it in words. I feel like you do, but what it has done for me, for my womanhood, for my femininity, I quit my traditional job. I
Right.
decided to let my husband do what he was created to do, which is provide. And
Right.
it has been such um a great thing for me. It's really helped me tap into my femininity. It's really put me into this relaxed state. It's helped me be more confident
Right.
in myself, more assured of myself. I mean, I could go on and on. We're not going to give it all
Yeah.
here, but
Yeah.
living
I
abroad
agree.
helps you
All of
see
that.
the world through a world lens instead of an
Yes.
American lens. It isn't that different, and that's
Absolutely.
that's the first question you have. I don't know if you see this question, but we can't be on long, you guys. We're going to be on for about 5 more minutes or so, so don't worry, this won't be long. But the first question we got is, why is it different in Rome versus America? And you want to touch on that, on how it's
Sure.
different living in Rome?
It's just a lifestyle because Italian people they highly value family, they highly value personal time, and they don't live to work. They work so that they can live, if that makes any sense. So like take for
Mm-hmm.
instance on Sunday in Italy, there's a tradition all over Italy. Every single Sunday they have the traditional family lunch or dinner. You don't mess with that. If you know somebody that's
Right.
Italian, you know they're going to say, okay, well, I have lunch with my family at this time. I'm not going to be available. Or they won't be available the whole day. In my neighborhood in San Giovanni in Rome, like literally you walk out on Sunday and there are tables lined up with families, kids running around. You see all the different generational groups with the grandparents, the parents, fathers are present,
Mm-hmm.
holding their kids, playing with all the kids. So there's a completely different atmosphere. They take their downtime seriously. So getting together is normal. If you don't see your friends in 2, 3 weeks, like your friends are going to say, what's wrong with you? Like, are you sick? What's going on? Like you need to make time for us too. So, um, I think that's the main difference is that there's a more relaxed atmosphere, and the same thing here in Istanbul, Turkey. People just value family time. Even in Istanbul on Sundays, on the weekends, you go to the parks, and there is a picnic culture here. People literally have their whole families out. They'll have like these little mini picnic tables with baskets, and everybody's out there until sunset, like sitting next to the Bosphorus, enjoying family time with kids and the elderly people in their home, in their families, excuse me. And so there's just a different priority on
Mm-hmm.
life. So that's what makes it different. And then also, um, in particular, Rome has a population of like 6 million people, and it is extremely safe. I mean, like super safe for a city of that magnitude. And I can go out at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and nobody's really going to say anything to me. You know, people will speak to you, they're very friendly. So it's just a completely different set of values and psychology that makes it different.
Right. And I can say Rome is very different from the Middle East where I'm at. But as far as the family values, here it's all about family. It's all
Yeah.
about family and wholesome fun. Now, people may do what they do behind closed doors, but because I live in a culture and in a country where everything is based in Islam, uh, I love the conservative nature of the Middle East. Like, I knew it would be a different lifestyle, but me and my husband meshed perfectly into this lifestyle. And when we want to get a little wild and have some romance time or have a glass of wine, we simply hop over to Bahrain as they say it, or we go to Dubai, or we spend our summers traveling, and we have great wine and great food and great meals when we want to get a little loose. I mean, we're a little old school, so we don't get we don't get too loose. You know, we're not young anymore, so we don't get too loose. But when we want to experience like a nightlife type of thing, we just travel. And I see there's a question. So also, it's very safe here in the Middle East where I live. I live in Kuwait, but the same thing for Dubai. We were out at 2 in the morning. There's nobody bothering you. Here, I can leave my laptop in Starbucks on my table, go to the bathroom, come back. Somebody literally left their MacBook on the table for an hour the other day in Costa. They just put their MacBook down and they just casually went somewhere for an
Yeah.
hour. And their MacBook was not touched. Nobody looked at it. Nobody touched it. Nobody did anything to it. And that's not to say there's not crime in Rome or in the Middle
Right.
East. Obviously, there is crime everywhere, but it's very little crime. And you do feel very safe. And that is very different from America. Okay, you
It
guys, we
is.
only have 2 minutes left. I see another question. It says, can you save this live? Yes, I'm going to do my best to save this live and put it on my YouTube channel so that you guys can sign up for the webinar when the purchase page goes live. Somebody said they were 59. I can't find the comment now, but I'm pretty sure you said that. I'm 59. Is it too late to live this lifestyle? No. When is
Absolutely
it too
not.
late to do anything? I
My
mean, is it too late to get married? Is it too late to have a baby? I mean, Janet Jackson had one at 50. Is it too late to go to college? Is it too late to change your life? Uh, Answer that, Candice, because I feel like you are so experienced and so knowledgeable. Is 59 too late?
It's absolutely not too late. My mom is in her late 60s, and she is by default with me living the expat lifestyle. And she's here,
Mm-hmm.
she's getting her Turkish residence as well. So absolutely not too late at
I
all.
love that. I love that. It's never too late as long as you have breath in your body. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we know there are some things that we can't do as we change, as we get older. There are going to be some things that naturally we can't control of, but it is never too late to
No.
live the lifestyle that you want. It is never too late to find love. It is never too late to change, to grow, to earn money, to become more creative. It is never too late. And I think as women, society has pushed us into this box where if you're not in your 20s anymore, somehow, it's done. It's a wrap for you,
Right.
And I think
Right.
that modern women, such as ourselves, even though we're traditional in the
Yeah.
way we think of relationships, we're traditional really in the way we live our lifestyle. Even you are quite traditional. I see your posts, I see the way
I
you
am.
dress. You're very
Yeah.
traditional with your style of dress, and there's a lot about you that's very, very traditional. We're still both modern women, and we're savvy. We're savvy
Yeah.
women. And
Yeah.
I think that we connect on that level. So, Candice, I'm going to leave you with the parting words. We both will post on our pages when the webinar link goes live, so you can go and you can sign up. We just wanted to give you a little taste of what we're
Yes.
going to share with you, and we're going to give you some hardcore information on how to move abroad on your own terms and what to start doing to prepare for that. But Candice, what are your final words that you want to leave with people about the expat life and how impactful it is?
My final words are just do it. If you have been thinking about it, I'm just going to encourage you just to do it, because when I left, the night I left for Rome, I was freaking out. I was having an anxiety attack. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I literally just packed up all my stuff and I'm moving to another country. But as soon as the plane landed, as soon as we got settled in our apartment, I realized it was the best decision I had ever made for my life
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter's life. And I could never go back. Like, once you taste it,
Once you
like, I
taste
just,
it, you get addicted. You get
you get
addicted
addicted,
to
and
the expat
you
life.
just can't go back, because you realize the world is yours, and you see
Right.
yourself as a global citizen, and you see yourself connected to everybody on the planet, and it is such a beautiful experience, and I want each and every one of you to experience that. So yes, that is what I'm leaving you with.
Right, right. And we want you to experience it, even if you don't do it permanently or you don't do it as long. Like I've been out of America. I mean, I go to America once a year. So I usually, this is the first year I have not been able to go back to America. And it's been heartbreaking for me because I haven't been able to see my family since,
Right.
this COVID thing started. But I've been away from America for 3 years now. And every now and then I joke with my husband. I'm like, babe, we got to go back to America. We got to get ready to go back. And of course, we're here preparing, stacking our paper, trying to get our money right, getting our situation right, getting everything in
Right.
order. But it's like, he's like, no, I'm not going back. My husband looks at me dead in my face and he's like, no, I have no desire. And he's a patriot. You know that, Candice. He's a Bible toting, a Christian conservative patriot, and he loves his country, but he has no interest in going back to America right now. He loves the expat lifestyle. And
Right.
in the webinar, those of you who are educators, all that disrespect you get in the United States, all that low pay, all that hard work you have to do, I really want to tell you about picking the right school because my husband has worked at 2 different schools at this point, and what we learned through the process and what I've learned from other educators. If you want to be treated with respect as an educator, I don't care if you're a teacher, a principal, or whatever you are, if you want to see more perks than you've ever seen in your life with any job, I highly recommend educators purchase this webinar as well for people who really are just sick of it or sick of the treatment that they get in America as an educator, because we know educators are important to the world, and every one
Yeah.
of us came up through educators, every one of
Yeah.
us. And so that's all I wanted to say. We will be back
Can
on
I
social
can I
media on our
interject something? Can I
yes,
interject something really quick before we close? And it's in regards
of
to being
course.
American. It's in regards to being American. I just want to say that for me, living abroad has made me feel prouder to be an American than I was
Yes.
before, because I feel like I'm able to reap the benefits of being an American citizen in a different way here than when
Mm-hmm.
I was at home. And it also helped me to see my own culture in a different way. So not only am I proud to be
Mm-hmm.
American, I'm also proud to be Afro-American in a
Yes.
different way than I was before, because I am now able to see my authentic culture and what I have to share with the world culturally than I did before, minus all the dysfunction. Because a lot of people who are still at home confuse dysfunction with culture. But now I see my culture for what it is, for the
Mm-hmm.
foods, the music, the our sense of humor, and the special way that we do things and bring things and what we bring to the world that's very unique culturally. And so I just wanted to say that that's one of the other benefits of living abroad was my
Right.
pride
And
in being American and Afro-American.
don't you love carrying the what people consider to be the burden of being Black with you all over the world? Like, I have
Absolutely.
never been prouder to be a Black woman. When I'm in Europe, when I'm traveling throughout the Middle East, when I'm the only Black woman in the room killing it,
Yeah,
I am so
absolutely.
happy to be reflected because you see Africans. Africans are very well traveled. They move to different countries all of the time. You see Africans all over the world,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
to run into another African American is
yes,
sometimes a very unique experience, and it doesn't
it
happen
is.
all the time. Can you touch on that? Isn't it wonderful to carry the burden of being a Black woman abroad?
It is, but that's the thing. I don't even consider it a burden because
I know, I was
it's my
kidding. I was like,
it's
it's not
I know
really a
I
burden.
know I
Yeah.
know. It's just like it's not a like people thinking it's funny because it's like it's so not a burden, but people think that it is, and I feel like I have the opportunity to create a new narrative for myself because sometimes I go places like I spent a month in American Samoa, which is a little tiny island in the middle of the South
Hmm.
Pacific for a month. They're writing my second book. And I met people who were like, you're the first Black American person that I've ever met in real life. We only see you guys on
Hmm.
TV. And so here it was.
Hmm.
I was able to leave a positive imprint on these people who had never in real life seen a Black American person. And so I consider it a badge of honor or like a burden of honor to be a representative in that way and to be, like a feminine, classy, glamorous Black woman because they need to see that.
Right. They totally need to see that. And I don't know, I can't say if anyone has ever mistreated me or not as a Black woman. I'm sure I've gotten looks or whatever, but one thing my husband taught me is to not internalize the feelings of other people. I
Right.
treat everybody right, and if I'm not treated well in a situation, as soon as I can get out of that situation, I get out of the situation and I
Right.
and I move on. And so I just want to let you guys know that the color of your skin shouldn't stop you from doing anything. And it is a blessing to be able to carry your American pride with you and your Black skin with you anywhere that you feel comfortable visiting in the world. And I want to add to what Candice was saying about being a Black woman abroad is that uh, it helps our image and it helps
Yeah.
shape our image worldwide. And so it's a very good thing. Don't be afraid just because you've heard stories or whatever. I've never, seriously, Candice, I stopped thinking about being Black, I think like 6 months
Right.
into living in the Middle East. I don't know. In America,
Yeah.
I thought so much about being Black all the time. I don't know if you felt that way. Did you think more about being Black when you lived in America for some reason? I can't really
Absolutely.
explain why.
Absolutely. It's an
Why do
ever
you think that
present
is?
topic in the States because it's an ever present topic in the States. And plus, I think that a lot of times African American people have this need to trauma bond. And so as I've
Hmm.
broken away from the trauma bonding narratives and people who love to trauma bond, it's allowed me to see myself as a whole human being and also being treated that way. Like I said, I'm treated woman first. If I walk down the street, a man says, "Wow, you're a beautiful woman." They're not, "Oh, you're a beautiful Black woman," and
Black
put me in a
woman.
separate
Yeah.
category.
Yeah.
So, I'm
Yeah.
able to just not feel. I don't even think about that really. And I'm like you, like I really don't think about it. Yes, I'm Afro American. People are very curious about my culture and I'm able to educate them properly on my culture because now I know my culture minus the trauma, the drama, and the dysfunction.
Exactly. And also, I want to know if this has been your experience. I know people say, you know, people hate Americans, especially the Middle East. I was legit afraid to move to the Middle East for all the stereotypes and what I heard, but I didn't let that stop me. People like to say, you know, well, Americans are hated and we're hated, even now with our politics and with our president. And everywhere I go in the world, people are curious. They want to
Yes.
live in America. They want to live in America. They want to practice their English if they don't, you know, speak English. They want to, they say, oh, I want to go to America. America is a great place. Like everywhere I go, everywhere I've been in the world, if I said I was American, I pretty much got a positive response back. What has been your experience with telling people you're American? Has it been bad? Have they treated you bad? What has been your experience with that?
It's always been positive. It's absolutely always been positive. And like you, like now I'm in Istanbul, which is, I mean, technically it's a secular country, but Islam is the predominant religion here. And so it is a much more conservative culture than Italy or somewhere in Europe. So, I mean, even here, I still get a positive response when I tell people that I am American, and they want to know all about me. They're like I said, they're particularly curious about me being Afro American, because they do realize that there's a difference. Or sometimes they don't. If I say, "Oh, I'm American," and they'll say, "Oh, well, where's your family from?" I'm like, "We're all Americans," and they're like, "You are? Like, you're not from?" So I'm like,
Right.
"No." I was like, "I can, on my dad's side of the family, I can trace my roots back to 1791, right here on, you know, right there in America, Cherokee Nation and Africans and free blacks." I was like, we can trace our roots back to 1791. So I am American.
Wow. Right. I love that. So, you guys, as you can see, Candice has a host of knowledge. And that's why I'm just honored that she agreed to collaborate with me on this project, because she has a host of knowledge that I don't have. And then I have the knowledge from other experiences. And together, we are creating a series of webinars that I think that are going to help you in your femininity as well as your
Absolutely.
desire to live abroad, because we can't stop talking about what it means to live a free, feminine, productive life
Girl.
away from dysfunction and
Yes.
all of the things that are so distracting. So, Candice, I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank everybody who joined us for
You're
this
so
live
welcome.
this evening. We really want to bring a fresh perspective. And essentially, Candice, I'm going to let you close out. I wanted to say that if you look for racism, you're going to find it. And that's anywhere in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what are your
There are
closing
also,
words?
my closing words are to just be open-minded, keep your heart and mind open. If this is something that you really want to do, then I just highly suggest that you um, get our webinars, because we did it the hard way. Like, I made like every single mistake. Things were very difficult. Navigating things in another language. I could go on and on
Mm-hmm.
and on about that. And so we've kind of made it where it's simple to do. But again, we're here to support everyone who has that burning desire to just live a different lifestyle. And like I
Right.
said, for me, it has been absolutely rewarding on every single level of life. And I could never, ever turn back. Like, this is my life.
Right. This is even if I go back to the States, I just see myself visiting at this point until maybe I
Yeah,
get to a point where I
me
can't move
too.
around as well. But then again, I can just pick uh, a place that I want to settle into and stay there. I just love this lifestyle. I love what it's done
Me
for
too.
me emotionally,
Yes,
psychologically, spiritually.
yes,
What it's done for me
absolutely.
has been phenomenal. So thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Candice. We will be
You're
back
welcome.
with links, and we will be on our own personal pages in the next couple of days talking about our webinars. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time, y'all. Bye.
Hey, ciao.